2 in the morning, middle of February, and my phone rings. A woman on the other end, calm as she could manage, telling me there is water coming through the light fixture in her kitchen ceiling. The braided supply line under the upstairs bathroom sink had let go. It happens. Those lines do not last forever. I told her what I tell everybody. Go to the main shutoff, close it, and I am on my way. She could not, and not because she did not know where it was. She was standing right in front of it with a pipe wrench her late husband left in the basement. And that valve had not moved since the Carter administration. Seized solid. By the time I got there and muscled it closed, the kitchen ceiling was on the kitchen floor, and the restoration estimate had a comma in it. Here's what eats at me. The fix for that valve costs about $6. It sits on the shelf of every hardware store in America, and there is a can of it riding in the door pocket of every plumbing truck you have ever seen. Blue and yellow. You know the one. Today, I am giving you 10 plumbing problems, WD-40 fixes in seconds. Seconds of your effort, anyway. The can does its waiting on its own clock, and I will give you the honest clock times as we go. Then comes the never list. 3 places this stuff must not touch, and one of them can get somebody hurt. And after that, a 5-minute ritual that would have saved that kitchen ceiling. Stick with me. This video pays for itself before lunch. What this stuff actually is. Before the list, let me tell you what is in your hand, because half the country thinks it is magic, and the other half thinks it is snake oil. It is neither. WD stands for water displacement. The 40 means it was the 40th formula they tried. A little outfit called Rocket Chemical Company mixed it up in San Diego back in 1953 to keep rust off missile parts. And it did that job so well, the workers started sneaking cans home. So it is 2 things. It is a penetrating oil, which means it is thin enough to creep into a rusted joint and break the grip of corrosion. And it is a water displacer, which means it chases moisture out of metal. Now think about what kills plumbing hardware. Rust, mineral crust, trapped moisture. 9 times out of 10, that is exactly what is holding your stuck part hostage. What it is not, and this matters, is a long-term lubricant. It opens the door. It does not keep the hinge happy forever. And it has no business anywhere near rubber. Hold that thought, because the never list is coming. My Uncle Ray kept a can in his truck for 40 years. He called it the Blue and Yellow Apprentice. It loosened things up so the real tools could work. Number 1. The seized shutoff under your sink. Number 1. The seized shutoff under your sink and behind your toilet. The trade calls it an angle stop, and it is that little chrome valve where the supply line meets the wall. You are supposed to be able to turn it and kill the water to one fixture. Most folks never touch theirs for 10 or 15 years, and then the day comes. A faucet is dripping, a toilet is running, and the valve will not budge. Or worse, they force it, and now it leaks at the stem. Here is the fix. Spray right where the stem enters the valve body, at the packing nut, which is just the small nut that seals around the stem. Give it 5 minutes, then work it gently, a little back, a little forward, a little further each pass, until it turns free. Do not put a wrench on it first thing and lean into it. You will snap the stem or twist the whole valve on the pipe. Ask me how I know. A plumber replacing one seized angle stop runs $150 to $200. And most houses have 8 or 10 of them. Your cost is 1 spray, 5 minutes of soak, and about 30 seconds of wrist work. Go around the house and free every one of them. That is the cheapest insurance you will ever buy. Number 2. The outdoor spigot in spring. Number 2. The outdoor spigot on the first warm Saturday. Jose Bib is the trade name. The faucet on the outside wall where the garden hose lives. That thing sat through freeze and thaw all winter. And now it either will not turn at all or it screams like a barn door when it does. Same medicine. Spray the stem right behind the handle and hit the handle screw while you are there. Go find your hose, untangle it, and by the time you are back, the oil has done its creeping. Work the handle easy, back and forth. No muscle. If it weeps a little around the stem once it moves, snug the packing nut behind the handle a quarter turn. Gentle. And the drip usually quits right there. 10 minutes in April saves you a plumber in July, because the fella who cranks on a frozen hose bib with channel locks ends up snapping the stem. And then he is paying somebody like me to open up the wall side. And I will tell you, if you think this spigot fights dirty, wait until number 9. That one snaps off inside your wall if you do it wrong. Number 3. Rusted toilet seat bolts. Number 3. The rusted toilet seat bolts. You bought a nice new seat for $25. You flip the little caps at the back of the bowl and you find 2 steel bolts rusted into their nuts like they were welded there. This is where people reach for a hacksaw, and this is where people scratch a $300 bowl. Put the saw down, get under the rim, and soak those nuts from below. A good wet spray right on the threads. Then walk away for 10 minutes. Pour a coffee. When you come back, hold the nut underneath with a small wrench or pliers and turn the bolt from the top with a screwdriver. 9 times out of 10, they walk right off like they were installed last week. If yours are plastic, they do not rust, so a stuck one is just over-tightened. And that is a different 2-minute conversation. 10 minutes of soak, 2 minutes of turning. No hacksaw marks on the china. Between you and me, half the scratched bowls I have seen in 30 years came from a seat swap that went to war too early. Number 4. The corroded supply line, nut number 4. The supply line nut that laughs at you. That is the little braided hose running from the shutoff valve up to your faucet or your toilet, and the nuts on each end grow a white and green crust over the years. That crust is corrosion, minerals left behind by years of slow moisture, and it locks the threads up like glue. Spray the threads on both nuts and give it 5 minutes. Now here is the part people skip. Use 2 wrenches. One holds the valve body dead still, and the other turns the nut. Skip the second wrench, and you will twist the whole valve, and a 10-minute faucet swap turns into a pipe repair behind the wall. With that nut free, you can change your own faucet, your own fill valve, your own supply lines, all jobs that run $200 to $300 on a service ticket, and about $30 in parts at the store. 4 fixes in. And the only thing you have spent past the can is patience. Coming up, a 20-second fix and the mistake that snaps a pipe off inside your wall. One quick thing. If you like $6 answers to $200 problems, my ebook, Proud to One. Ways to unclog any drain is full of them. Most use stuff already in your cabinet, and each one is a drain call you never make. Links in the description or scan that code on your screen. Subscribe to the Vintage Pipe Fitter for old-school know-how that saves real money every week. Number 5. The squeaky faucet handle back to work. Number 5. The faucet handle that squeaks and grinds every time you turn it. That is dry metal on metal, usually the handle screw and the splines. The little grooved teeth where the handle grips the stem. Pop the decorative cap, back out the screw, and pull the handle. One short spray on the screw threads and on those splines. Wipe it down so it is damp and not dripping, then put it back together. 20 seconds of actual work, and the squeak is gone for a season. A squeak is free to fix at home and a $100 annoyance to hire out. But listen close, because this is where folks get themselves in trouble. Keep it out of the cartridge. That is the guts of the faucet down inside the body, the replaceable part that actually controls the water, and it is packed with rubber seals. WD-40 and rubber are enemies, and I will tell you exactly why when we hit the never list. Spray the handle parts in your hand, away from the faucet, and you will stay out of trouble. Number 6. The sticking sink pop-up. Number 6. The bathroom sink stopper that sticks halfway. You lift the little knob behind the spout and the stopper hangs. Or it will not seal, or it will not come back up. Get under the sink and find the pivot rod, the skinny rod running from that lift knob over to the drain pipe. Where it enters the pipe, there is a little ball sitting inside a nut, and that joint gums up with soap scum and corrosion until the whole works drags. One short spray right at that ball and nut, and along the rod where it passes through the clip. Work the knob up and down a dozen times. You will feel it loosen with every stroke. If it is still stiff, back that pivot nut off a quarter turn, no more, because too loose means a drip under the sink. 2 minutes, 0 parts, and you just skipped a handyman's half-hour minimum, which around most towns starts at $90, whether he is there 5 minutes or 50. Number 7. Seized slip nuts on the old chrome trap. Number 7. The slip nuts on that old chrome trap under the sink. The trap is the U-shaped pipe that holds a plug of water, so sewer gas stays in the sewer. And slip nuts are the big, thin ring nuts that hold it all together. On the old chrome ones, that is thin brass, 40 years of corrosion and threads that feel welded shut. Folks grab the channel locks, crush the nut into an egg shape, and now nothing seals right ever again. Spray the threads at both nuts, top of the trap and bottom, and give it a full 5 minutes. Wrap a rag around the nut before the pliers ever touch it. Keep the pressure slow and even, and let the oil do the breaking. Once it cracks loose, it will spin by hand. And here is some honesty for you. If that chrome trap is flaking rust from the inside, replace it while you are under there. A new plastic trap runs $8 to $12 and will outlive us both. The oil got you in without cracking the tailpiece, the pipe coming down from the sink, and that is the part that turns cheap jobs expensive. Number 8. The dragging shower door. Number 8. The shower door that drags like a barn gate. Sliding doors ride on little rollers in a track, and between soap scum and hard water, those wheels seize up until the door fights you every single morning. First, clean the track. Old toothbrush, white vinegar, wipe out the crud, because that buildup is half the problem all by itself. Then one short spray on each roller wheel where it spins on its axle, and on the guides down below. Run the door back and forth 10 times and feel it wake up. And here is the part everybody skips. Wipe off every bit of excess. This stuff grabs dust and lint if you leave it sitting wet, and in a month, you will have a grimy track that is worse than the drag you started with. 3 minutes, the door glides like the day it went in, and when you want it slick for the long haul, follow up with a dab of silicone, which is the proper finisher for a job like this. Number 9. The shower head that will not come off. Number 9. The shower head welded on by 20 years of hard water. The threads between the head and the shower arm, the pipe elbow coming out of the wall, get calcified until the whole joint is one piece of stone, and here is why this one made the list. When people crank on a stuck shower head barehanded, the arm turns instead, or worse, it snaps off inside the fitting behind the wall. Now you are opening tile, and that repair has a comma in it too. So, spray the joint where the head meets the arm, all the way around, and give it a full 10 minutes. Come back with a rag over the connection. One hand grips the arm to hold it dead still, and the other turns the head counterclockwise. Steady pressure, no jerking. If it fights you, soak it a second time. Patience is cheaper than tile work, and I have never once regretted waiting. When it comes off, wipe every trace of oil from the threads. Tape the arm fresh with 3 to 5 wraps of thread tape and run the shower a good minute before anybody stands under it. Number 10. The one the name is for number 10. The one this can was actually born to do. After a wet job, and plumbing is nothing but wet jobs, your tools are carrying water in every hinge, every joint, every bite of the teeth. Leave them wet in a toolbox, and rust moves in by the weekend. So before you put them away, one pass of spray on the pliers, the basin wrench, the channel locks. Work the joints a few times and wipe them down. Water displacement, Formula 40, doing the exact job printed in its name. It chases the moisture right out of the metal. My Uncle Ray sprayed his channel locks every single time he pulled a trap. Those pliers were older than I was, and there was not a freckle of rust on them the day he retired. 30 seconds at the end of a job, and your tools outlive you. That is the whole tip, and it might be the best one on the list. Now add the whole list up. Every fix you just learned, all 10 of them, comes to less than an hour a year. Keep that number in your head, because the bonus tip at the end only asks for 5 minutes of it. Less than an hour, and every minute of it comes back as a service call you never book. The Never List now. The section that separates the folks who know this product from the folks who just spray it at everything. 3 nevers. Write them on the can if you have to. Never number 1. Never on rubber. No O-rings, no seals, no gaskets. And never down inside a faucet cartridge, because that cartridge is full of rubber parts. WD-40 is a petroleum product, and petroleum swells rubber, softens it, and rots it out early. You will silence a squeak today and buy yourself a drip by Christmas. The right product for rubber is silicone grease, sold as plumber's grease, about $4 a tub, and 1 tub lasts 10 years. Faucet rebuilds, cartridge swaps, anything with a rubber seal, that is your medicine there. Never number 2, and this is the one that can hurt somebody. Never on gas fittings or gas connections. Not to loosen one, not to quiet one, not ever. Gas work belongs to a licensed pro, full stop, and I have said that since day 1 of this channel. If a gas fitting is stuck, your next move is a phone call, not a spray can. Never number 3 is really a habit. Keep it out of your drinking water path. This is shop chemistry, not kitchen chemistry. Spray the outside of the hardware. Keep it off the wet side of anything that feeds a tap. Wipe every drop of excess and run the water for a minute after you have worked near a fixture. And one last rule that ties this whole video together. This stuff is a penetrant, not a permanent lubricant. It breaks parts free. It does not keep them happy. So free the part with WD-40, clean it up, and if that part lives its life wet or moving, follow behind with silicone grease. Open the door with one. Keep the hinge happy with the other. Before your bonus tip, the bigger toolbox. 101 Ways to Unclog. Any drain covers every drain you own, kitchen and disposal, tub and shower, toilet, laundry, even the main line. Each fix inside is a $150 to $400 call you never place. Grab it through the description link below. Then hit subscribe, because the Vintage Pipe Fitter brings money-saving trade wisdom every single week. Bonus, the 5-minute ritual. Now the bonus, and it is the whole reason I open this video in a flooded kitchen at 2 in the morning. Go find your main shutoff. It is where the water line enters the house. Basement wall, crawl space, garage, sometimes a utility closet. Older homes usually have a gate valve there, the kind with the round wheel handle, And gate valves seize solid when nobody ever turns them. Twice a year, spray the stem right under that wheel, wait 5 minutes, then close the valve all the way and open it all the way. Twice. That is it. That is the whole ritual. If it will not move or it weeps while you work it, have a plumber swap it for a quarter-turn ball valve. And yes, that one is worth paying for, because it is the valve your entire house depends on. 5 minutes a year, a $6 can. And the night a supply line lets go upstairs, you turn one handle, and you are back in bed with a mop by the door instead of on the phone with an insurance adjuster. That school teacher would tell you the same thing. Sign off. That is 10 fixes, and the one that matters most. Keep a can where you can find it. Keep it off the rubber, keep it away from the gas, and wipe up after yourself. Between you and me, the old cheap fix wins again. I will see you next week.